Hello there again. Welcome to the Technology Innovation Hub. So this is going to be the first technical video with hands-on, right? So let me share my screen. So I thought of doing a session on the installation because to do whatever even to explain architecture, we might need to do some practical. So then only we'll understand how the instance works and shutting down internal memory structure. So while learning the architecture, you'll be able to do the practicals if you have the installation done and if you have a database, a workable database. So that's why I just thought of just starting with the installation, right? Now in this installation, we have a different objective as well because we are going to have two products, right? In Linux box in virtual machine, right? So you're going to have a virtual box, Oracle virtual box. On that, we are going to install Oracle Enterprise Linux, right? So in that, we are going to have Oracle 12.2 as well as 19C, right? So 12C, 19C going to coexist in the same Oracle virtual box, right? So that's the plan. So let's see how it's going to be. So as the initial step, we'll start installing Oracle 12c. The version we are going to do 12.2.0.1. So that's the versions. We are going to start it 12.2.1 version, right? Okay, so let's start with the things, right? So actually, I have created a guide for this. Let me go there. Let's go to it so then it will be easy for you to follow. I'll upload the guide to the GitHub relevant repository for Oracle portal of the Technology Innovation Hub, right? So we know we are going to have different portals in Technology Innovation Hub. So let's say Technology Innovation Channel, Oracle portal. So this is the guide, the basic guide. We'll go to this and let's try to complete the installation by following this, right? Yeah, I prepared this one on Linux side, so it looks like things are going here and there, but it's okay. It's more to few, right? So that those things can be corrected, right? Okay, right. So this is for you to read actually. Let's right away get into the practical. But let me explain while I'm doing. So this is the very first thing is the reference. So I have given the top. Normally, usually I given the reference at the end, but I need you to look at on the starting point itself. This is the Oracle documentation, right? Because everything is well explained in the Oracle documentation. So while doing this practical, right, I want you to go to this one as well, reference. I have extracted certain things from documentation and guide which is just like a summary, right? But just go to this one for detailed explanation, right? So to do whatever, the very first thing is we need to have our OS up and running, right? So operating system has to be installed, right? So for that, we are going to select Oracle 7.9, if I'm not mistaken. Let's go through it and see. And so since it is the very first technical session, practical session we are doing, I thought of starting with Oracle 7 version because we have Oracle 8, but let's keep that term for later session. So, right. So I think I mean, better to start with the low version first, right? Let's go to the higher version later, right? So the first thing is to do the installation Oracle Linux, Oracle Enterprise Linux 7, right? So just go to this. So it has everything, pre-installation configurations and those things, everything is there in guide for extra reference. But I have summarized the things for you, right? So you have system requirements, right? So what is this? Oracle Linux will include both unbreakable Linux and likewise so Red Hat compatible. So UAK kernel and RSCK, so both are there, compatibility. And UAK is Oracle on, and it has certain higher CPU support, supporting you can see 64 TB of memory, and likewise, so number of CPUs 5001, likewise. So you can just read it out, right? So those are not a problem. And there's another very important one. For more information on x86 servers are certified with Oracle Linux UAK. So certification. So you have this site. If you want to see this particular Oracle Enterprise Linux certified with what hardware, right? You can see x86 server that's certified for Oracle Enterprise Linux, right? Which hardware that's certified for this OS, right? So this is very important. So you can go here and check this certifications, right? So they will list here, right? So it is Oracle Enterprise Linux. It is certified with these machines, right? So you can see Oracle 7, Oracle 8, so different versions. Oracle 8 versions compatible with these, but certain 7 versions may not. So likewise, you can click on and see. And further, you can check different vendors as well, right? So if you want from HP this machine, from IBM this machine, likewise, right? Operating systems. So likewise, the compatibility matrix is there. Compatibility matrix. So just go through it. It's very important when you deal with production systems, right? So just go through it, right? This is for knowledge. So in time to come, we might be focusing on this in separate sessions, but here our focus is not this. So, but I have mentioned in the guide for your reference. So just go through them as well. For you, Universal Enterprise Kernel system requirements are non-issue documented. So non-issues are documented in documentation. So again, it's there the documentation, right? Right. So the very first thing is you need to have the installation software, right? You download it, right? Obtaining and preparing the installation media. So you need to download. So for downloading, Oracle Linux distribution is freely available. We know it's a free version, open source, right? So you can get the download from, the best thing is you can go for e-delivery, right? edelivery.oracle.com. I think you know Oracle distributes software in different places. We have the software cloud and old Oracle Technology Network also there. But for these downloads, you can go to e-delivery. So I have given the steps here. Of course, you need to have a pre-login. So I have explained those things in the introductory videos. So you can check that in the channel Oracle portal. It is there, right? I have given nearly 1 hour introduction to whole Oracle organization. So in that, login creation and those things are there. Right. Anyway, let's go here. So let's check that. You can go to edelivery.oracle.com, right? So it take you to here. So the very first thing is you need to sign in, right? So let's log in. Right. So let me use my login. Okay, signing in. All right. So I'm in as luxury, right? So that is there. Then just search here. Very easy, pretty easy. Just type OEL or Enterprise. That is what you need, right? So just click here, right? And it will come like this. Then as we are going for Oracle 7, so you can get the highest version of Oracle 7, no problem. We have Oracle 7.9. Then we can avoid doing a YAM upgrade as well. Otherwise, the YAM upgrade almost takes nearly 1 GB, so it might take time. So we take the latest version on Oracle 7. So we can click 7.9. And so once you do that, you add it to the our bin or our cart, shopping cart, and you can continue, right? So if you continue, then you can see that already selected our version 7.9. Here you have to select the platform, right? So select the platform. I need x86, right? Not the ARM, right? And yeah, so this is the size, but we need to select only the update. This is the whole package, right? Let's continue the next page. So then it will allow you to select, right? Of course, you accept the license agreement, accept it, right? And continue. Yeah, give you a feedback. I mean, make it a good practice so to give the feedback about the site, right? So this is what I mentioned. The whole thing, the whole package come to 14 GB, but we don't need the entire thing. What you need is what? What you need? Only the update, right? So this is the Oracle Linux release update 9. So this is what we need. Rest of it, the source code, right? So image, ISO image, boot ISMA, no need. We don't need that one for basic installation. And UAT also we will leave it out. And again, source code also no need. So we are not going to modify the kernel and all. And yeah, source. There are two source files. So that's what. So you can use that and you can click download, right? So the Oracle download manager will start, right? And it will trigger the download, right? So that's what's going to happen, right? So if you click it, right? So next step will be that resolving. So it will start download like that, right? So in my case, I have already down. Actually, initially what happens is Oracle. This is the download manager. So you need to run this, right? So I think I had that one installed anyway, but yeah, but you can say next time. Finish it, I think you can manage that part. So you can finish this and it will say loading and all right. So, all right, so it is downloading. So in my case, I have already downloaded this one, right? So I'm going to post the download, right? So, and since I have it, right? All right, so you can download it. So I think I have the product. Let's check. Mm, so we need that Oracle 7 or Linux version, Oracle software. Yeah, yeah. So I have it. This is the ISO image. So this image which is going to be downloaded 4.6. This one 33901, right? That is been downloaded. So I'll be using that. Okay. So once you download the product, so now we are ready to go to the next step, right? So let's leave it as it doesn't matter, right? Anyway, you can just close it off. So okay, they are now. We are done with it, right? So and this is the steps. I have given the steps almost I have demonstrated. So you can I have given the steps again. If somebody want to go through it, again the steps are there. Right? So click download. Entire steps. Okay, right. So now yes. So we can continue. Documentation is not guiding the rest of the step, but let me explain. So we can go through it. It's just a matter of click and go into some GUIs, right? Not a big issue. So let's go through it. So the next thing is you go to, I have Oracle VirtualBox, right? So Oracle VirtualBox is there. Right? Just to download and install it. So anyone knows. I don't think anyone will have a challenge installing Oracle VirtualBox, right? So just get it installed and click new. You're going to have a new virtual machine, right? And virtual guest OS, right? So you can give the name as okay. So let's give OEL 12 2-19.3, something like that, because we are going to coexist both versions in this, right? So let me change the path for this one. I'm not going to use C drive. Let me go for D drive for this. The VDI file or my virtual image file for the virtual guest OS, I'm not going to keep it there on the C drive. Let me use D drive for that, right? Let's check. I have on the users. I have user displays VirtualBox. And so let me keep it there. Right? I'm selecting that folder. Right? So and I'm going to have Linux. Yes, 64-bit, right? That's what when you're downloading also you go for 64-bit. Yeah, anyway, 64-bit version. Right. So Linux and say next, right? And this is the amount of RAM virtual memory we are going to give. Anything around 8 GB is fine. But since I am having memory, so I'm going to give around 10 GB for this. If you also can give 10 GB, so always better. Larger is better, right? But anyway, 8 GB is sufficient. That's not a problem, right? Yeah. This I'm going to go 10 GB of memory. And next, right? So virtual disk now, yes. And this one VDI dynamically allocated, yes. And here the size. Now this is another important thing, which memory and disk space are both important, because since I'm going to have two databases running here, 19 and 12 and 19, and we are planning to do some more practicals with multi-tenancy and all, right? So therefore, I'm going to queue around 70 GB. So if you also going to follow all the practicals, you better keep that space, because the later practical sessions with multi-tenancy architecture, we might have to unplug, plug PDBs, migrate, and a lot of work is going to come, and we are going to go between the pluggables and container databases. So therefore, we might have to spin up for multiple container databases. So therefore, keep room for all of those things. Plan it properly, right? So 70 GB is enough. When I have given 78, so that's okay. That's what's selected, right? So that is fine. So I'm going to create that size. All right. So now I am having that guest is ready to be started. Let's try to start and see what happens. All right, so it's asking the location. So let me select my OS image. So this is my 339 OS image. So I'm having it already. But if you don't have it, so don't worry, you can take it, you can browse it here. You can, from here, you can, or you can add it here. If you want, you can add. You can add the new one and you can give your location, right? So where you downloaded the ISO images, right? So you can point and you can select like this, right? So I have selected like that. So 339 I have selected. So that's why it appears here. So I'm going to select that, right? This is one of the old ones, so I don't need to use that. So I'm going to use this 7.8 or 9. That's better download. If you're doing it freshly, download 7.9 as I explained earlier. So let's choose it, right? And I'm going to use that and say start. All right. So now, yeah, this is 7.7. See, it is 7.7. So it doesn't matter. It's fine. Whatever. Anything above 7.6 is much better. Don't go below 7.6, right? So those will have again different behaviors because of older versions. So anything 7.6 above, 7.7, 8, 9, fine, no problem. 7.7 is also okay, right? All right, so no need to test the media, so it's fine. So we can write away go for installation. Right? So let's go for the installation. I click that and it's now starting. So starting the restore is now be installed. Right, so the version is language is English, right? So let's you know this host control, right? Host key is your right control key. If you want to get the mouse control within the guest storage, you need to press the right control key or click capture. So now it is operatable. Now it's not coming out because you are within the guest storage. If you want to come out again, you have to press the right control, right? that's normal behavior. So, and say we will continue with English, right? Okay, so the language support and things are selected. Now is checking for the installation source and software selection. So those things has to come, right? So let's we can wait for a while, or we can select the installation software selection right away. So not the minimal installation. We need to have server with GUI. That's the option, not the minimal. Minimal means we give only the command prompt and all. They are dependent by Oracle database installation. So we go for server with GUI, right? And here we need to select some options for us to get some tools in our OS. So KDE for graphical interfaces and all. So we have some editors, right? And again, you go down, we better select this system administration tools. So check that, as well as compatibility libraries, right? So system admin tools, compatibility libraries, and KDE, right? That's done, and we said done there. So now I have to select those things, right? It is loading those things according to my selection. And we can select this one, where's the destination. Till it loads, we can select the destination. The destination is my disk where I have allocated 78 GB earlier. So I have the choice whether I am allowing him to do automatic partitioning or I can do manually partitioning. Either is fine, but since we are doing it for the if we are doing it for the very first time, we can go for automatic partitioning. We can go for manual partition, no problem. If you are have a proper knowledge of partition on Linux, no problem. But then again, there's no big difference between that, because this is we are preparing a learning environment, not for production. If it is production, we have to have the separate mount points and also multiplexing and all. But since it's a very first technical video, let's not go to so advanced in partitioning and this configuration. So let's stick for automatic configuration. But there's a one issue like this in automatic configuration for the swap partition. We know Oracle use swapping, right? Swap partition is allocated only 5 GB in automatic configuration. But with from 12.2 onwards, right? 11G 5 GB is enough. 12.1 also 5 GB is enough. 12.2 onwards, you need more than 8 GB of swap. Right? So it will give a warning while the installation, but it just we can ignore it and skip. But in production, it's always try to give around 10 GB of swap, right? That means we need to customize that. We need to do manual partitioning in production. So it's a good best practice. And no need to click, I would like to make additional disk space, because anyway we are going to utilize this, only this much we have allocated. So, and automatic partitioning and done, and this is our disk, right? And yeah, selected, done, make sure the tick is there, right? So done, and okay, now we have the installation and we are all okay. Software selection, service GUI, automatic partitioning, installation, the local media means I have given him the location of the ISO file. So we are good, but if you want further, you can configure here network, right? And we can enable the network so that when the server start automatically come, and the machine name, leave it local domain, no problem, right? And we can say done, right? So that is done. And what else? Freedom is enabled, fine, no profile for security, that's okay, right? Okay, let's go begin installation, right? So, and as soon as we start, it will start the installation. Let's give the root password. Make sure you give a complex password. Always keep that best practice. Give complex passwords, right? The root password then. So done. User creation we will do later at the time of reboot, right? All right. So now it's just keeping on the installation. So typically this will take 15 to 20 minutes max, right? So after that, it will do the reboot, right? So let's wait till this finishes, right? After that, let's continue, right? So to come out from this, we have to press the right. Okay, let me stop share for a while, right? So it's going, it is continuing this one, so we had to wait for a while, right? All right, took around 40 minutes. Yeah, let me share the screen. And now it's generating the init transcripts, so might take another 1 or 2 minutes, right? So let's wait. Yeah, should finish by now. Oh, shit. Wait for another 3 minutes and see. Yeah, running the post installation scripts. Yes, done. So now it's time to reboot. Once it's done, let's click the reboot, right? So it's starting for the first time after the installation. Right, let's continue. So it will automatically select the relevant kernel and it will continue. Yeah, so it's starting for the first time, right? So it's taking 3 minutes. All right, so we are there. License information, accept. Okay, done. And these things have done, and we say finish configuration. Network first name, and we already configured earlier, right? So here we go. We have the OS up, right? Let's wait for the screen. yeah, so some more configurations. So English United States and yeah, English typing. Location choices on. It has already selected the location for Colombo, right? And next, so skip this Google account and yeah, so I will give my name here. So the user creation about me and the password. Again, give a complex password. All right, so done. Yeah, start using enough server. Don't be this much slow because this is the first time initial configuration. Once it rebooted, it will be faster than this. Okay. Right, so let's close this up, guide, and yeah, so we have this. So this screen size is smaller, so we need to install guest editions, right? So that's the right type of thing what we have to do. So don't do any yum update or anything. So just do the guest edition installation, right? Because guest edition does several things. This is the place devices, insert guest edition CD image. Because this, what it does actually, now we need to share the things between the host and the guest, right? So there are things on Windows we need to share. So to even to create the share, we need this guest edition, right? And there are a lot of additional driver configuration it does. So let's click that, right? So it's a run, yeah, capture, and run. Okay. So let it complete the configuration. It will take 1 or 2 minutes. Oh, yeah, I need authentication because they have been done as root, but that doesn't matter. So let's give the authentication. That's fine, right? So since we know the root password, that's okay. So it will build the kernel modules and it will install kernel modules.